Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate to you how we can migrate from AWS Postgres to Tencent Postgres. This is the AWS Postgres instance I've created. We can double click into it. I'm connecting using the Cloud Shell. You see that this is a particular DB created to simulate the migration procedure. A few things to highlight. The first one is regarding the parameter groups. So basically, I've created a new parameter group, right, just to make sure that the source and the destination database parameters compatible with one another, right? So basically, over here, there's a few that you need to check out, right? The first one is the RDS, logical, replication. You have to switch on from 0 to 1. By default, is 0, or if by default is 1, you don't have to do nothing, but if it's 0, then you need to switch to 1. And second one is sender timeout, right? So it's this one. So as long as you're setting like 60,000 above, it should be fine, right? So basically this is part of the requirement for the replication. And also another thing that you might face is this time zone. So I see that by default is UTC, right? But over here, since you are migrating to comply with the Tencent standard, right? So Tencent by default is in PRC, right? Unless you're setting the UTC on the target instance. But over here, just for simplicity, you can just quickly change from the UTC to PRC before the migration, so that you don't see the alarm. So basically, these are the 3 recommended settings to be done before the migration. Of course, you have to create a necessary username, Postgres username, and also basically assign or grant the necessary access, right, to the particular username for the migration. So after the preparation work is done, and then we're going to go to the Tencent Cloud DTS. Under DTS, you have to purchase an instance for the migration, or we call it migration task. So from here, that you have to select the specific support for the Postgres instance. Also, basically, this page is designated for the Postgres. So the task name will be automatically assigned, or you can change it to something that you prefer. And then running mode, it can either immediately start or do a schedule one. And the source database type, right, so it will be predetermined once you finish or complete the purchase. So it will be fixed to Postgres SSQL. And the SS type, right, so over here, I'm going to use the public network, right? So basically, this is the address or domain name of the database that I created over here. And the port is default one, 5432. And account they're going to use to migrate is Postgres. And the password, let me key in. And I'm going to test the connectivity. Meanwhile, I'm going to select the target DB that I created on Tencent. So before you execute this, you have to create a target DB instance. Or you just do unnecessary, for example, modifications in terms of the AZ and also the region that you prefer, and also to make sure that the migrated version is compatible with the source one. And then you go back, do a refresh, and you'll be able to find the instance just created and test the connectivity. So you have several options. You can do logical migration, physical migration, only the structural migration, full migration, or full migration plus the incremental migration. You'll be monitoring the incremental changes after the migration. Or you can migrate the entire instance, for example, the table or the new DB that I created earlier. And then you click next. You can also check the data consistency verification. Just take note that if you were to do the data consistency verification, you will basically cost the extra compute power right? So it will take up some of system resources. Oh. And then you click next. So you will start doing the verifications. Oh, you see that everything is checked and passed. The next step is to do the structural synchronization. So you can click the refresh button. You see that the status keeps changing, right? Current step is dumper. Basically, it's dumping the data. Okay, so it's ready. Now I'm going to do the refresh. They see that a new DB has been synchronized successfully. So basically that's all. Thank you.